Hey guys, today on my arcade life we're going to talk about a game I really love, and that is Pac-Man, and its 30th anniversary coming up. It just seems more fitting to talk about this game. This time I'm going to talk about the history of the game, and then I'm going to talk about my actual experiences of the arcade machine. First of all, for those who don't know, Pac-Man is the best-selling arcade machine of all time. There's nothing even close. Not Street Fighter II, not Tetris. It was estimated that Pac-Man sold 100,000 machines its first year alone. Namco did some estimates not that long ago about they believe Pac-Man's been played over 10 billion times since it was first released, and that they have earned over $100 million off the arcade machine. It's a funny story. The original designer of Pac-Man went out for pizza one night, and he removed a slice of pizza, and in some reason in his mind that was ended up being Pac-Man, or originally was called by Namco Puck-Man, but they changed the name for the American release. If you go to Namco in Japan, they actually have a Pac-Man machine sitting there to play. The team for Pac-Man was not very big. It was originally 8 people total, 4 who worked on hardware and 4 who worked on software. It took 15 months to complete Pac-Man, the arcade machine. There's been a lot of different things about Pac-Man through the years. I mean, first of all, in July 1999, for those who keep up with the records, Billy Mitchell got the perfect score on Pac-Man, which was 3,333,360 points. He beat all 256 levels, ate every ghost, every power pellet, and every fruit using one Pac-Man. I believe there's currently only 6 people who have ever gotten a perfect score on Pac-Man. Billy Mitchell is also famous for currently having the high score of Donkey Kong. If you've ever seen the movie King of Kongs, you know all about that. But anyway, there was also a strategy guide I remember being out for Pac-Man called Mastering Pac-Man, and it came out by Ken Uston. It's not that easy to find, but I remember Pac-Man has been on so many products over the years. I mean, I know that they estimate over 250 companies have been given license to do products, and they've over 400 products have been released for Pac-Man. I remember as a kid seeing cereal boxes and ravioli or Chef Boyardee. The trading cards that came out in the 80s. All of us who had them, magnets. Just costumes. There's even a hot rod I seen on the internet of Pac-Man. Just so many things for Pac-Man that came out through the years. Anybody who's a fan of Pac-Man also from 1982 to 1984 saw the original Pac-Man cartoon series, or the animated series as it would be called. That was originally made by Hanna-Barbera on ABC. It was originally about Pac-Man in Pac-Land, trying to save his friends from the ghost and their evil master. It also had Super Pac-Man. Later on, they had PJ, which was a teenage version of Pac-Man. But it was original lineup's kind of funny when you look back at it. From September, let's see here, I wrote down here, September 25th, 1982 to September 3rd, 1983, it was Pac-Man, Little Rascals, and Richie Rich Show. And then later on, his second year, from September 10th, 1983 to September 1st, 1981, it was the Pac-Man and Rubik's The Amazing Cube Hour. There's also the song, of course, Pac-Man Fever, which was made by Jerry Buckner and Gary Garcia. It was spoofed off Ted Nugent's song called Cat Scratch Fever. It peaked at number 9 on the charts. I remember the first time I seen Pac-Man, and that was in 1981. There's a little variety store where I lived at, small town of Marseilles, Illinois, and I don't know, I was just captured by the machine the first time I ever saw it. I mean, everybody was. I mean, not only was it like a character that in a machine instead of but just the acts between the arcade machine. You've never really seen that much of anything since Pac-Man. Just the whole thing of Pac-Man just was amazing. The simplest thing, but everybody just could understand and imagine it, and it was just boom, instant hit. I mean, anytime I go buy a Pac-Man machine, I can't help but play it. I was thinking, was there anything else I forgot about Pac-Man when it comes to it came out? No, I don't think so. I mean, Pac-Man, everybody who's ever played, everybody knows what Pac-Man is. I mean, I remember my friends and me would just sit there and try to beat each other's high scores, or who could get further. I mean, if you get to Act 3, you're considered really good at the game back then, So in Act 4, you could consider it a god. I mean, back then, the arcades, Pac-Man was just a thing that everybody played and everybody understood. I think it was probably one of the first games everybody played and everybody talked to each other about, because Pac-Man was just so big back then. I mean, it was everywhere. It was I remember it being in all the malls or anywhere you went. There was merchandise for Pac-Man all over the place. I mean, I'm just kind of surprised that the 30th anniversary, Namco has not come out with some kind of game for Pac-Man. The 30th anniversary, it's a big deal. I mean, May 21st and May 22nd, Pac-Man's free to play on Google. It has Google in the middle of it. It has all 256 levels of Pac-Man. But in their browser, when you go to the website, it's right there. Another thing I should note is that on YouTube, of course, Techromancer1 has this Pac-Man Invasion, for people who ever played Pac-Man. But, Pac-Man to me will go down as one of my favorite games of all time. I mean, there are just very few games that could ever top that game for me. I don't care what comes out today. The simplest games are just the easiest for people to understand, and a lot of game developers don't seem to understand that anymore. I mean, it's a shame the arcades have gone away, because all the classic memories of going to the arcade and lining up all your quarters on the thing, or you have that guy who has all the money and lines up just to be an idiot. Your friends, the guys who lined up who want to play against each other, but you remember all that stuff in the arcade. But well, I guess that's all I got for this episode, guys. So until next time, see ya.